So good morning dear students, once again to the uh, online session of our class 12 information technology. Now in today's class we are going to discuss various types of SQL commands with their syntax and how we can insert different kinds of tables, different kind of constant relations, different constants on the relation into our particular database using the MySQL 8.0 command line client, MySQL server. Okay, so the first command which we are going to discuss in here is the DDL. As I said earlier, DDL consists of 4 sets of commands, so we will discuss all those commands one by one. And DDL stands for data definition language. Means what? Whenever we are in a need of creation of a definition of a particular database, say insertion of a table, maintaining relationship between two tables inside a particular database, in such situation we need to go ahead with this set of commands, which are also called by another name, that is DDL, data definition language. Inside this, the first command which we are going to learn here is create table command. Okay, now let us see how it can be applied or how it can be utilized in our MySQL server. So but before that, one more thing we should remember is that in MySQL client, before inserting any table or relation, we need to create a database first. We need to create a database first, and inside that database only we need to insert the table or our relation. So what is the command in order to create a database in our MySQL client? So let us see the first command, create database. Suppose I would like to insert a table or relation with the name teacher. Suppose I would like to insert a relation with the name teacher. Now teacher can be inside a school's database, correct? It can be inserted inside a school's database. So what would be the name of that database in which we are going to insert the teacher relation? That is school. So the first command is here, first step is creating a database. Creation of database. We need to create database first. Then what is the command for the same? Create database with school, followed by semicolon symbol. Okay, once we create a database with the name school will be generated inside our MySQL client. Okay, a database with the name school will be generated inside our MySQL client. Now, in order to check how many databases are available, once it is executed, it will show a set of instructions that this command got executed successfully and this much amount of time has been taken to complete the command. Okay, here these terms, that is this keywords which we have used, create database, this is case insensitive. That means we can use capital as well as small letter, both will do our work. Now in order to check what are the available database inside our MySQL client, one command is there, show databases. Show databases. Okay, one command is there. First we have created a database with the name as school. Then the next step is we need to check what are the different databases that has been installed, what are the different databases that has been stored inside our MySQL server. Okay, so in order to do so, we will be using this command show databases. Now the third, after executing this query, it will display the list of database in tabular format like this. Databases, type, system or user. All those lists will be displayed here. If any database is there which is already pre-installed in our MySQL command line, it will be displayed along with the other databases that we have created here. We have created a school database, so it will also be displayed in here. Now, see, the main purpose of this tutorial is not to check the available databases inside our MySQL command line. Instead, the purpose here is to insert a table inside this database, the database which has been created here. We need to insert tables in this database along with few of the constraints which can be applied. Okay, so database, it will display the database. Now, since we are into school, we need to insert the table into school database. So the third step we will be using is use school. Okay, once we execute this query or once we execute this command, our MySQL client will automatically bring us to this database inside the school database. As soon as we execute this, it will show use database, use school. Okay, command executed, time elapsed this much second. Fine. So once we will use this query, it means what we already entered inside the school's database. Now the next option, fourth query is the query by means of which we are going to generate the table. So there is a syntax, a general syntax for inserting a table into our database. The syntax goes like this. For example, create table, table name. Okay, whatever may be the name of the table, that has to be denoted by this table name. This is the command creating for creation of a table. Create table name, then here parenthesis followed by attribute one. First attribute where we need to insert, then after space data type, then constraint if any there is inside the data, constraint 1. Okay, like this, attribute 1, data type 1, data type constraint 1. Similarly, it will go on like this, place comma, it will go on like this, and finally we need to close the bracket, and once our bracket is closed, we need to place semicolon symbol, and after pressing enter key, it will automatically execute our create table command, and it will generate a table or relation inside our database. Okay, so this is the general syntax. This is the syntax of creation of a table inside a database. This is the general syntax. Now here we have taken the teacher table. Okay, here inside our school database, say we have created a teacher table. Now in this teacher table, how we can create teacher table, let us see. So teacher table, it can be generated like this. So here query will be like MySQL you will get in the command line. Then query you need to execute is As I said earlier, in MySQL, letters are case insensitive. So create table teacher. We have inserted the name of a table as teacher. Now we are inserting the attribute along with their data type and constant if any on the data. First of all, we will create a table without any constant. Okay, and then in the next steps we will go ahead with the insertion of constant. So first one is create table teacher. First one is teacher ID integer. See, this is the name of attribute, first attribute, that is teacher ID, and here it has been set as an integer data type. Okay, then teacher name, here name consists of only characters or variable character which may vary from time to time. So here we are using one more kind of data type, that is variable character, varchar, which is denoted by varchar. Say maximum limit permissible is 20 characters. Teacher ID integer, teacher name varchar. Then gender we are using as character, CHAR, character data type with maximum possible character as 1. So it can be represented as either M or F, male or female. Gender, then suppose his or her salary. Now salary can be provided with 2-3 attributes. First one is integer, where only it will take integer variables, and second one is decimal type. In decimal type we can insert floating point value as well. Floating point in a sense means decimal numbers can also be inserted. So salary, we are going ahead with integer first, and then later on we will learn how to go ahead with decimal. So teacher ID, teacher name, gender, salary, then date of birth, DOB, date of birth. Now regarding date of birth, only one kind of data type has been suggested for class 12, that is date function or date data type. So we have finished creation of table teacher with 5 attribute values. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First one is teacher ID, teacher name, gender, salary, date of birth. Now we have not placed any restrictions in here, or we have not placed any constant in here. Okay, so it will generate a table without any constant. Means in place of constant, wherever we need to insert constant, it will simply display none. Okay, it will display only null and no constant is there applied on this table. So this is the general way by means of which we can create a table inside a particular database. And how to create a database, how to enter inside the database, how to insert table into the database. So this is the general description of the set of commands which can perform these things. Now if I would like to check the complete tables that has been. Now before discussing the create table command with constraints, let me explain a table containing the different types of data types which can be utilized inside our MySQL server. Okay, what are the different types of data type that can be applied to a particular attribute in order to perform all our queries inside a relation, inside a database. Okay, so it is in tabular format. So let us discuss commonly used data types inside a table. Okay, so here in this table, I have depicted certain commonly used data types along with their meanings and examples. How once an attribute or field has been declared with a particular data type will look like, that has been depicted by means of example. So here, see, the first category of data type that we are going to use is char. Char inside the parenthesis n is there. Now char stands for fixed length character string, means the string, the character string or a set of text which we are going to enter inside our database or relation, inside our relation will be of fixed length. Say it is, if it is 5, that means what, we need to insert 5 characters only. Okay, and here inside this bracket n stands for the number of strings or the number of characters, sorry, not strings, string stands for collection of characters. So here n is the number of characters, the total number of characters that we are going to insert inside that particular string, that will be depicted by n. For example, say if we declare char as 5, then we need to write, we will have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 characters only, not more than that, not less than that. Okay, so it is a fixed length character string. Then the second kind of data type is varchar. Varchar stands for variable character. The syntax is similar to char, inside parenthesis n is there. Now varchar stands for variable length character string. That means what? Here the string that we are going to insert by means of different set of characters will be variable in nature, and the maximum capacity, the maximum number of characters that can be entered inside the string is n. Here n will denote the maximum number of characters that can be accommodated inside our string. Okay, for example, say varchar 15 we have declared. Now the maximum capacity of that particular string will be 15, but it can be less than that also. It should not be more than the 15, no more than a maximum of 15 characters. It should always be less than 15 characters, or it should be equal to 15 characters. And in between this, we can also keep space, underscore, at the rate, special symbol, anything can be inserted. So see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here only we have 10 characters inserted, while the maximum capacity has been declared as 15, and in between 10 characters, one space has been left as blank. So this is the concept of varchar, variable length character string. That means the maximum capacity which has been prescribed for that particular data type should not exceed that capacity. The fourth one, the third category is date. Date is generally used for insertion of date function, insertion of date in the date attribute. Whenever there is any attribute related to date, then we need to insert this data type, which will be in the format YY, MM and DD. So if we go ahead and insert today's date, then it should be like 2020 08 then 27. Okay, so this is an example. Now similarly, integer, one more type of data type is there. Whenever we need to insert a number, whenever number that we are going to insert is either positive or negative, in such situation we need to use a data type that is integer, and here the number that we are going to insert will be an integer. As we know, the concept of integer means positive, negative and 0. Correct? Positive and negative integers. So here an example of integer is 23, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now apart from this 4 type of data type, one more data type is there which I am going to discuss now. So the last type of data type that we are going to insert in our this chapter is decimal MD. This kind of data type is used whenever there is a need for insertion of floating point number as well as long numbers which has to be accommodated inside the database. Now here, fixed point number. Decimal stands for fixed point. Decimal M, D. It is meant for fixed point number. Such type of data type is being specified for fixed point number, where inside the bracket two characters are there, M, D. Here M represents the number of significant digits stored for values. Suppose we have a 5-digit number which has to be stored in before decimal point. Then in such situation, M denotes the that number of significant digits which that particular number contains, and D represents the number of digits that can be stored after decimal point. Means suppose we have a floating point number containing 2 or 3 decimal point, 2 or 3 digits after the decimal point. In such situation, D will simply represent the number of decimal point up to which we need to insert that particular value. Okay. If D is 0 or not specified, even in certain situations D will not be 0 or there will be no specification about D, simply M will be inserted. In such situation, it means that the value does not contain any decimal part. It simply means that the particular value does not contain any decimal part. For example, if we have written decimal inside parenthesis 5,2, then our number should look like this. See, the maximum capacity of significant digits, that is applicable before decimal point is 5. Now here we have written 3. So 3 is within the limit, means maximum 5 can be accommodated, not more than that before the decimal point, while after the decimal point the maximum number of digits should be 2. So it has been represented as .99, only 2 digits. Similarly, second option also there. Now since we have specified the maximum capacity as 5 before decimal point, so we can also accommodate 2 4. Suppose we have written like this, a 5-digit number up before decimal point followed by decimal and with 2 digits after the decimal point. So such type of insertion is also possible. The maximum limit before decimal should be 5. So if we enter more digits than 5, then it will throw an error. But if the 5 digits we have entered, then it is fine. And sometimes what happens, we only enter the number of significant digits for values only. See, for example, decimal inside bracket 5. In such situation, we are not supposed to enter any values after the decimal. That means what? The values after the decimal point will be 0. Okay, so these are the different commonly used data types which we are going to use whenever we are working with any of the relation, any of the queries in our database. Okay, say it is whether it is related to the creation of table, whether we need to insert tuples into a relation, whether we are going ahead with constraints, altering the table, dropping the table. In each and every queries we will be using this data type. So it is very important.